Armada Kickoff is brought to you by Community First Credit Union, Winn-Dixie, Baptist Health, Bowden Nye and Associates, Brumos Automotive, and Coastal Spine and Pain Center.
Welcome into Armada Kickoff. We're on the doorstep of the first ever soccer match at Community First Park at the baseball grounds, Saturday against fellow NASL side Fort Lauderdale. We'll have a preview of that match, plus a little history from the Fort Lauderdale-Jacksonville soccer rivalry.
We'll also hear from midfielder Bochy Hoyos, who has the added pressure of playing for a head coach who happens to be his father. And we'll hear the amazing story of Ramy Safi's journey from Iran to Jacksonville. But we start with the weekend's game and the renewal of a rivalry. The Fort Lauderdale Strikers are one of the classic franchises from the first era of the NASL, and their rivalry with the Armada is yet to really be born. But the rivalry between the Strikers and Jacksonville is legendary. Back in 1981, the Jacksonville T-Men and the Strikers got into a tussle. It happened in a game of the old Gator Bowl. Strikers' Elias Figueroa's face collided with the elbow of Bob Newton of the T-Men. Figueroa lost some teeth, needed 41 stitches, and plastic surgery. The Strikers considered a lawsuit. Newton was suspended for a couple of games and fined $250. The next time the Strikers came to the Gator Bowl, a T-Men record 18,088 poured into the stadium to watch the T-Men take a 2-1 victory. So there is some history between these two Florida soccer cities. And speaking of making some history, did you see the front page of the Wall Street Journal online earlier this week? On Wednesday, there it is, a photo from the Armada inaugural match against Philadelphia, and inside, an article about the growth of soccer in the United States. And who was quoted but Armada FC owner Mark Frisch? It's just some press, but when the Wall Street Journal notices what's happening in Jacksonville, well, you can't ignore it. Here's what you need to know for Saturday's debut of Community First Park at the baseball grounds. As a soccer venue, a few tickets are still available from as low as $14 each. You can call 8442-ARMADA or go online at armadafc.com. There'll be a flyover from the Coast Guard, DJs and live music before the game, Frisbee dogs at halftime. The match day party starts at 4 o'clock with kickoff at 7:30. Post-game fireworks as well, and we'll have it for you right here on CW17. There are many ways to obtain your tickets when it comes to match days. You can print them, email them, pick them up at will call, or even buy them right at the park. But what's the easiest way? Director of Ticket Sales, Aussie Hamrick, tells us more.
Getting a hold of your tickets for events may not be the easiest experience, and that's why the Armada is using a digital ticketing program called Flash Seats.
It's a paperless ticketing system that uses two different separate systems, either on your phone or just using an ID at the gate when you walk in.
Okay, and so if someone wanted to use their phone, can you kind of take us through that and how it works?
Absolutely. So you just download the Flash Seats app, and it's got a nice little lightning bolt for Flash Seats on there. And what happens is we send you the tickets internally here. They automatically pop up in your account. If you don't already have an account, it'll prompt you to create an account from there. Your tickets will be up top, and then every time you open this up, it'll create a unique ID so that when you come to the gate, you can bypass will call. You can walk right up, scan this, and however many tickets you need printed out, we'll print out right then and there, and you walk right in.
Whether you are tech savvy, this is something Hamrick highly recommends to avoid long lines that can develop on match day.
Very user-friendly. You've either got the app, you can do it online, you can manage your tickets online, either transferring to friends, family, anybody else that wants to get on there. Season ticket holders will also have the ability to sell their tickets online through this link, and they can either transfer their tickets directly off of their phone so that they have friends come into the match with them. They can transfer one ticket, two ticket, whatever it is, and just walk right in from there. So they don't have to worry about delivering the tickets, meeting in the parking lot of everything, and taking it from there. So it's very user-friendly, all electronic. You don't have to worry about losing the tickets. It's all right there either in your pocket. If for some reason you lose your phone, you've got the ability to swipe a credit card directly at the gate and walk right in from there.
There's a great new ticket deal out for the Armada called the Doubleheader. It's easy. You pick one match, either the Fort Lauderdale Strikers match tomorrow or Charleston Battery match on March 8th. And you get to watch the season home opener against FC Edmonton on April 4th. Starting at just $25 per person, it's a deal you don't want to miss. The Armada roster is full of players from all across the globe, and they all have their stories about how they got to Jacksonville. But perhaps none have a more remarkable story than midfielder Ramy Safi. Cole Pepper has the story of a journey that began in a place that's so different from Jacksonville.
Safi and his brother began their journey in 2000 when they snuck across the border of their home country of Iran. Without papers or permission from that country's oppressive government, Safi was a religious refugee when he arrived in Turkey. From there, he sought asylum in the United States. He remembers the exact day he came to America.
It was February 27 to 2001. It's a complete different environment, different country.
Once here, he adapted fairly quickly. Would his transition have been any different had he tried to immigrate after 9/11?
I didn't feel any difference. Of course, maybe people would look at you differently at the airport or something. Of course, I look Middle Eastern. But I never thought there was any racism or people treat me differently. And that's a great thing about the United States, because there's so many different nationalities in this country that they don't look at you differently. You're part of the country.
Part of what made his transition easier was playing soccer at Inglewood High School, then at JU, and later on for JFC. Now that he's on the Armada, his Jacksonville soccer tour has been completed. As for his personal highlights, Safi considers a moment that happened off the field to be his favorite. In 2008, he became an American citizen.
It's an amazing moment. I love this country with all my being, and it's because I tell American friends, I'm like, you don't realize how great this country is because you've never seen the other side of the coin. I've been to other countries. I've been to countries that you're prosecuted for your religious beliefs or your, in here you can go out and support your party, talk bad about the president. It's not like that in every country. And I spoke to a lot of my friends from different countries, so it's a big privilege to be a U.S. citizen for me, and I embrace it and I love it.
So from Iran to Jacksonville by way of JU, and Safi is one of 4 on the Armada roster who wore the green and white at Jacksonville University. Tommy Krzanovich and Nerden Rustic both played with Safi at JU, and Tyler Williams followed. We didn't even mention Mauricio Ruiz, the current JU head soccer coach. He'll join us a little bit later on. Someone who has no ties to Jacksonville but is certainly calling it home now is Bochy Hoyos, son of the Armada co-head coach Guillermo Hoyos. He explains that it's not so easy to play for Dad. Krissty Andaur tells us more.
Sí, bueno, hemos coincidido algunas veces profesionalmente en Grecia. Sí, es jodido porque, quiera o no, siempre te exige el doble que a todos y no puedes relajarte, ¿no? Pero bueno, se trabaja amenamente también.
Luckily for Bochy, he knows and has played his father's style of soccer for some years now, but he agrees that it's not so hard to learn it.
No, la verdad que él siempre en ese sentido, los equipos que ha agarrado automáticamente empieza a implementarle su estilo, y en cuestión de pocas semanas el equipo ya empieza a tener una identidad que él quiere, ¿no?
And having his dad by his side has made it easier to call Jacksonville his home away from home.
Y bueno, yo llevo justo hoy, estoy cumpliendo un mes, así que la verdad que nos gusta demasiado, estamos muy cómodos, muy contentos. La verdad que es un país que siempre hemos soñado venir y hemos soñado conocer, y ahora tener la oportunidad de vivir en el país, la verdad que para nosotros es un sueño.
Still to come on Armada Kickoff, we'll visit Bob's boot room and see how the Armada did something very unconventional in the last game.
Also ahead, the Analysts Roundtable. We'll look ahead to Saturday evening's matchup between the Armada and the Fort Lauderdale Strikers. Stick around, Armada Kickoff is just getting started. There is still time to get your Armada season tickets. Interest-free monthly payment plans still apply, and all season ticket owners are invited to special season ticket owner-only events. If you buy a 3-year ticket, you get a personalized brick at the permanent Armada FC Stadium, and tickets are at the very lowest price imaginable, from just $10 per match if you're a season ticket owner. Call 8442-ARMADA or online at armadafc.com. Let's spend a minute on Fort Lauderdale here, a little bit more time, not just the history but the present of the Strikers. Let's start with how last season ended for Fort Lauderdale. They made it all the way to the NASL Finals before losing to San Antonio, and that was just the start of a notable offseason for the Strikers. In January, the team introduced their new part owner, Brazilian legend Ronaldo. The 38-year-old has played for some of the most historic clubs in the world: Barcelona, Real Madrid, Inter Milan, Corinthians. And now he's even saying that he wants to play for the Strikers. He says he's eyeing the playoffs. That would be October, but who knows? He could make an appearance against the Armada. We'll see. Although, as you can see here, he has a ways to go to get back to his playing weight. He hasn't played since 2011. But you can just imagine what it would be like if he laces up the boots against the Armada. Could be quite a story. Now let's check in with Krissty Andaur, who's visiting Bob's Boot Room, presented by Nike.
Thanks, Cole. Bob, during the Armada's last match against the Battery, we saw them do a little risky things back there in the defense. Tell us about that.
Yeah, and it is risky. That's the formation we've been playing. I've been talking about it for a while now. Well, let's look at these two central defenders that we have. At the moment, we play Matt Boehner on one side and Fabricio Ortiz on the other. And then we have our back for the right and left here. Now, because these guys make these long runs into their area, the onus is on these two at the back, Boehner and Ortiz at the moment, to control that and to drop back when they go. And then we drop a central midfielder back to join them. And that's because we play the overlapping fullbacks. These guys have a central job to do. Let's look at a clip of that from the Battery game. Here we are, played out of defence, and we're playing forward. There's Flores.
And you see Nicola already passed.
Yeah, Nicola's just passed that. And right out on the left, that was Jamal. And you'll see Trejo come into it now. Out to Nicola again. And he will put that long ball up. And who's there to receive it?
Lucas Trejo.
Lucas Trejo. He is the left back. And he's made that run all the way up the field. So that illustrates when this guy goes forward. I think Nicola was in a position about here when he made that long pass to Trejo. And that's why we play that diamond shape that we talk about. We knock the ball about, we draw them out, then the long ball goes through, and the other fullback runs onto it. This is why their job is so important, to hang back a little bit behind the halfway line, and for one of the midfield players to just drop back into midfield. These will move up into midfield when we're on the attack and when we're making an attack from our wingers.
And let's take a look at another clip of where they did that in the Charleston game. We have another clip that
illustrates that.
See, there's Nicola.
Nicola again, and he's played it forward.
And he's way past the midfield.
Way past the midfield. And the goalkeeper gets it. Now, the goalkeeper either plays it short to somebody and they make a move, or he has the long pass and the boot upfield.
Let's see the last clip where we see Boehner focusing in that center back. He's not that far back.
He has to beat somebody. Great ball in the middle there. Another ball. And he's playing quite deep there. And there's Flores. And there's Trejo again, way over the halfway line. And that is the risky part of pushing your fullbacks forward so that one is here and one's passed into somebody in our half. We must drop back. Our back two have to be strong enough to cut out any long balls or through balls when we lose it.
Okay, Bob. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Cole?
Thanks, guys. Coming up, we'll welcome Mauricio Ruiz and David Hayes to the Analysts Roundtable. We have more on the Armada matchup with the Strikers. Stick around. More Armada Kickoff is straight ahead.
The Armada Social Rewards program is a great way to stay connected with the team via social media. And why not get rewarded for being active on social media, like most of us are? Just go online at armadasocialrewards.com, create an account, and start earning free stuff like jerseys, scarves, and even tickets to future matches. All you have to do is mention the Armada using your social media, like, tweet, tag, and earn prizes. Simple enough, right? Well, each week we'll pick a random winner and prize, and this week's winner is Kari Thompson. Congratulations. You've won 2 tickets to the Charleston Battery match on March 8th, and thanks for keeping up with the Armada via social media. And now let's head over to the roundtable. Cole?
All right, thanks, Krissty. Right here for our Analyst Roundtable, joined by David Hayes and Mauricio Ruiz. Well, this is the first match for the Armada against an NASL team in the preseason. Is this an opportunity for the Armada to sort of send a message to the rest of the North American Soccer League about what they're going to be all about?
Yeah, I mean, I think this game is relative now, right? I mean, we play preseason games against teams from other divisions, which, well, you win or lose, it doesn't really matter. I mean, this is your, day-to-day competition in the league. This is who you're competing for a championship with. So now it's pretty relative, and whatever the result is, still preseason, but you will send a message in the sense of, there's a team that just went to the finals last year. So how does a new franchise compete with a team that's established and went to the final, has a little history to them? This is very relative.
They want to see, obviously, what Fort Lauderdale has to offer again this year, coming off of last year's success, and then what the Armada is doing in preseason.
What do you expect the atmosphere to be like at Community First Park? We've never had a soccer game in that venue ever.
I mean, I think the atmosphere is going to be great. I think it's already been great, and they're sparing no expense to promote it, to flyovers, to everything, the fireworks. I think it's going to be great. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think you want to play at home. You want to have your home, your home field advantage, and have the 12th man be an extension of the field. So finally being able to be at home for the first time. We played a couple games preseason at Disney and here, at Everbank, which is great atmosphere. But now being able to establish your home environment, I mean, that's going to be fantastic for us.
And one of the biggest names in soccer in the last 30 years has come into town. Yeah. Ronaldo, the Brazilian legend, who's now a part owner of the Strikers. Yeah. He's making noise about wanting to actually play. Can you imagine seeing Ronaldo out there against the Armada?
Well, I mean, I think it'd be fantastic. And I think that's right. I mean, I think it's a good marketing move. You associate your team with one of the biggest names in soccer ever. So it makes that team relative more than it already has from its history. But now you make the league relative as well. That a owner, that a player that now wants to have an ownership of a team in our league, I mean, that's very, very relative. I would like to see Mark French against Ronaldo on the field. I think that'd be great.
I mean, he does not look like a svelte, fit soccer player right now. He's bulked up, which was an issue for him, weight-wise when he was playing. But I mean, he's also 38 years old, and age comes into play on this thing too.
Well, let's not get crazy here with 38 years old, because I'm 38. All right. So no, but as a soccer player, you can't fluctuate weight. Every time you do, it affects you. It affects every joint, everything. So it's going to be tough for him to get back, but I think it's great for the league.
Yeah, I mean, if they make the announcement during the season, preseason, that Ronaldo's going to make an appearance. An appearance might be the last 5 minutes of the game, 10 minutes of the game. You guarantee fans will come out just so they can say that they watched the Ronaldo, the original Ronaldo play.
Let's talk about Saturday's match against Fort Lauderdale. Who do you want to see stand out?
I mean, I still want to see how Flores, integrates himself with the team, how he fits into what's been building on, but at the same time, how he stands out, right? Because I mean, he's our name. He's one of the names. I think we've fallen in love with Keita already, what his potential is, and our fans have seen that firsthand. But our fans haven't seen Flores play just yet. So how does he fit in with Bochy? How does he fit in with Keita and the guys on the outside? But so can he fit in? But at the same time, can he be our name?
For me, it's Pascal. I think coaching Pascal, he's just a wonderful talent. And the coaching him, I just know what he possesses, and I haven't seen that yet. And when we see that, we're going to see a completely different guy and team.
Well, it's going to be something to see. We'll keep a close eye on things against the Strikers. David Hayes, Mauricio Ruiz, thanks so much.
Thanks.
The Armada is making a difference in the health of kids in our community. We'll show you how the Armada is doing that as Armada Kickoff rolls on. Spring half packs are now on sale. From just $12 per match, you can get preseason action like Saturday's match against the Strikers, plus all of the spring NASL fixtures. That's 5 of them at home. Call 844-2-ARMADA or online at armadafc.com. Just as it's important for the Armada players to stay healthy and fit, the club's also looking to improve the health of our youth in the community. The Armada Healthy Heroes program visited San Pablo Elementary School this past week. Krissty Andaur was there.
Whether it's getting your heart rate up by playing a simple game of tag, something we are all familiar with, or by listening to professional athletes like defender Matt Boehner and goalkeeper Miguel Gallardo about the importance of healthy eating, it was an event even adults enjoyed.
I think it was a terrific event. The kids absolutely loved it. The players, they really know how to interact with the kids, and they seem just as enthusiastic as the students themselves.
And it was with that same enthusiasm that Gallardo and Boehner got over 150 kids to learn several games and even some soccer drills as fun ways to exercise. The students were eager and happy to have the Armada on their field.
I'm really excited because we already have a football team, so why not have a soccer team?
To not play as much video games, go outside and play sports.
And of course, the day wasn't complete without a personal meet and greet autograph session. While parents and teachers usually deliver this message, sometimes it's who delivers it that makes the difference.
Well, because they are role models to our students, I think it's really important for them to see how the professional athletes were able to make the right choices, healthy choices, and stay active. So we are really showing how what we are preaching really works out in the long run. And I think that's really important for the students to see.
We've had our say on what we expect at Community First Park, but what about the players? They certainly have some expectations as well.
Oh, I just want them to know, as you just mentioned, it'd be an in-state Florida rivalry. So we definitely want to go ahead and, even if it's a preseason game, definitely win that game. and show them, and hopefully Tampa Rowdies, that are going to be also in-state rival, that we are going to be the best team in Florida.
I have played in a baseball field that was converted to a soccer field, but I never played obviously in that park. And I'm really eager to play there. You know, it's going to be an interesting atmosphere, especially because last game we had 14,000, stadium's capacity right around 9,000. So it's going to be interesting if it gets sold out. So it's going to be a great atmosphere.
You know, definitely we're looking forward to be back at home, being around our fans. You know, they were a big driver of our first game at Philly. So you know, we'd be excited to that. And you know, after this performance, you know, you're always looking forward to the next one.
Okay, Cole. So what day is it today?
Friday.
And?
February 27th.
Come on, work
International
with me here.
Polar Bear Day.
That's a good one. No, it's Fleet Fridays.
Of course, you've got your Fleet Friday colors on.
Technically, I have my Fleet. How about you?
Well, I mean, it's blue. I've got the tie. It's got the anchors on it. I've got the Armada pin. So on Fleet Friday, every Friday before a home match for the Armada, and you can do it other days too, but wear your navy and gold.
Make
like
sure to
Krissty is
represent the Armada, absolutely.
And it's a great way to get the weekend kicked off. Another great way, every Friday at 3 o'clock on Sports Radio 930, you can catch the very latest on the Armada. Bob Veal and I have the Armada Soccer Show. Krissty has her NASL report in that as well, as we get ready for Saturday's match between the Armada and the Fort Lauderdale Strikers. Remember, Saturday's match starts at 7:30 with kickoff, but the pre-match party starts at 4 o'clock. You don't want to wait till the last minute. Great things going on. There'll be a Coast Guard flyover, Frisbee dogs at halftime, post-game fireworks, and I can't wait to see how Community First Park looks as a soccer field.
I think that's something everyone has been looking forward, especially us, especially the team, the fans. I mean, I just can't wait.
It's going to be great, and we'll have the match for you, of course, right here on CW17. I'm Cole Pepper.
I'm Krissty Andaur. We'll see you guys next week.